Okay, so welcome, folks. Yeah, nice to see a lot of familiar names. Welcome to new folks. Happy to be with you. Happy to be practicing, and yeah. So let's sit or whatever posture your body's in. Just take that posture consciously. Just sensing what it would mean to be grounded in this moment. And perhaps the spine reaches ever so gently towards the sky. Then we surrender everything else to gravity. And we're practicing not being alarmed by samsara, by this realm of pleasure and pain, gain and loss. And we might use our breathing as a way of smoothing out the energetic field of our body-mind. We're practicing putting down the project that we call our life, not trying to fix or help things along, just kind of trusting that as we surrender, help is on its way. We don't have to find it. It's just getting so simple. It's this body breathing, silence beckoning us. Help is on its way. It doesn't require you, your willfulness. Phenomena arise, fears arise, thoughts arise. We become intimidated by them, by what they might mean. And so we freeze time and we try to make meaning, try to reassure ourselves. It's fair enough. But we are practicing knowing all phenomena is empty. An experience becomes so vivid, but highly attenuated, wispy, space-like, so there and barely there. If all we ever do is try to fix ourself, we will never know ourselves. Maybe we could say the anchor is silence, and every bit of noise is met with infinite patience. Okay. So yeah, good to sit with you. So I was on teaching a young adult retreat last week, and mostly folks in their 20s. And somebody asked a question very relevant to that developmental phase about comparing mind, the mind that compares, and that is, of course, a time when identity, is being forged, and a key way that we how we know who we are is by looking at others and making comparisons and judgments, greater than, less than, equal to. And there are kind of two dimensions, maybe we could say, of this comparing mind. There's the kind of coarser level of me comparing myself to another. And then the second dimension is sort of almost more fundamental. It's about measurement. Any sense of territoriality. And so on the coarser level, we compare ourselves to others, right? We kind of turn ourselves into a noun, into a thing, an essence. We turn others into a thing. And then we assess the differences, kind of like, laying our vision of ourselves against almost like two sheets of transparencies put against one another, seeing what the differences are. And this is a very painful realm. We all know the pain of it. This is the realm of arrogance and pity and envy, of pride and shame. There's an evolutionary psychologist that described pride and shame as the universal grammar of social valuation. The universal grammar of social valuation, pride and shame. And when I saw that phrase, I was like, that does sound right, but it also sounds very gross, the universal grammar of social evaluations. The essayist Joseph Epstein was talking about the 7 deadly sins: lust and gluttony, greed, laziness, wrath, pride, and envy. And said of the 7 deadly sins, only envy is no fun at all, right? And that is maybe the hallmark of the kind of comparing mind, the gesture of being a spectator, observing the object of self. This is very painful, very painful. And Matthieu Ricard says, in every instance, envy is the product of a wound to self-importance and the fruit of an illusion. What can other people's happiness possibly deprive us of? Nothing, of course. Only the ego can be wounded by it and feel it as pain. These are the results of our having forgotten our innermost potential for affection, peace. But, it's not just feeling less than that's painful, even feeling greater than or even momentarily equal to. The Buddha says we have to get out of the game of comparison altogether. And as we develop a more fluid sense of self, and maybe we say anatta, not self, that's the most true form of self-esteem. As our insight deepens, the less impulse we have to do any comparing, to substantiate ourselves, to deprecate ourselves. And then there's a more subtle sense of comparison that involves any measurement. The, the Buddha says, like, whatever one's obsessed with, that's what one is measured by. And this is, in a sense, getting into a kind of boutique level of suffering. But any measurement, being here but not there, being greater or lesser, there being any other side to our love, any other side to our knowing, ascribing any characteristics to me, all of that, there's suffering. It's not sublime. So in the Godatta Sutta, this is not the Buddha, but monastic said, greed is a making of measurement. Aversion is a making of measurement. Delusion, a making of measurement. Greed is a something. Aversion, a something. Delusion, a something. Greed is a making of themes. Aversion, a making of themes. Delusion, a making of themes. The defilements, greed, hate, and delusion, are all about measurement, about options and optimizing, about a sense of dislocation and lack. Me here, the object there. Me here, now, my happiness somewhere out there in some future. Me here now, and the ideal version of me just beyond my grasp. Me pinned between a messy past and an ominous future. And clinging involves a lot of cognition, of measurement, of strategizing, and this carries some burden on the heart. We might say defilements, greed, hate, and delusion. They're a something rather than a nothing. They're a theme rather than themeless. Freedom, much less of a something, themeless. So what we ask is like the alternative to making measurement, the alternative to somethingness, the alternative to making themes. And of course, it's okay to measure sometimes, but if all we ever do is measure, something fatigues in the heart. And sometimes the Brahma Viharas, the divine abodes, are described as the four immeasurables: loving kindness and compassion, joy, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. The four immeasurables. This is like alluding, this is not a dualistic love. Metta Sahagatena, the mind made vast with love. And this is a kind of love that that can't go wrong. There's no unfolding that disqualifies this love. There's no other side to it. There's nothing excluded from it. It's not based on measurement. It's not expressed as a measure. from the suttas, there's the case where a monastic keeps pervading the first direction with an awareness imbued with goodwill, likewise the second, likewise the third, likewise the fourth, thus above and below and all around, everywhere, in its entirety. They keep pervading the all-encompassing cosmos with an awareness imbued with goodwill, abundant, enlarged, immeasurable, without hostility and without ill will. This is called the immeasurable awareness release. This is alluding to kind of flavors of samadhi, flavors of kind of formless samadhi, where the landscape is reduced, all measurement falls away, and the world of experience is reduced to one thing, to space, to knowing, to emptiness. And the space can be pervaded by love. And there's no phenomena are being modeled by our brain except that space flavored with love, not even our body. And we just keep dropping distinctions. We keep not caring, weirdly. To develop this love, we keep not caring. We trust that all the alarm bells that go off in samsara, that go off in the circuits of our body, are false alarms, that no phenomena will hurt me, and so I don't need to tend to it. And there's a kind of relinquishment, the silence of letting go, letting phenomena fade, thin out. And there's so much, there's so much relief in not measuring. I have a measuring mind. There's so much relief in not measuring, not being measured by the world, And then distinctions are reborn here and there, body and mind, you and me, liking and disliking. But it's hard to forget just how simple the mind can be and how free one might be when measurement goes silent. This sounds maybe like, oh, there's rarefied states or something to crave to, but we don't we don't crave our way to non-measurement, right? This is more measurement. And we don't crave rarefied states for themselves or to solve our problems, We really honor the immeasurable mind, we honor rarefied states for the gentle, tender shadow that they cast over the rest of our lives. The way is our measurement is haunted by the immeasurables. So I offer this for your consideration. It's sweet to think of you wherever you are, and even though we're on like an 8-second time delay, uh, feels very intimate right now. Okay, see you next week.